Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. First of all, let me just say sorry to you all for being kind of missing this week. I've been having the most intense headache, migraine, don't even know what's going on. It's like all up the back of my neck here, it's all around my head, it's in my eyes. It got to a point where it hurt to keep my head up. Like I couldn't support my head, like it hurt. So to be in front of like bright lights like this, and then to be looking at a computer screen, it's just way too much. I have all my screen like lifted and everything like this. I have a shoulder massager, I have all this other stuff, and nothing really seems to work for me. But then I think it's been over time, you know, as a makeup artist, my arms are always lifted. Done people's makeup kneeling on the floor, you know, I've always been in like positions that aren't so great for my body, and I think people know exactly what I mean. And now with editing a lot all the time, I'm kind of hunched over a computer. I always try to sit. I've tried everything and just nothing works. I need to go see a chiropractor or something. Anyway, I'm old. I just need to face it, I'm old. But anyway, yeah, hi. So what I thought I'll do with you all today is do one of my You're Using It Wrong videos, where I basically look at a few products that you could be using better or in a different way to kind of help with your makeup application and to improve your makeup application. And these are just suggestions of ways you can use them. You can use them however you like, really. You're using it wrong. It's just kind of to get your attention. I just want your attention. So let's just go ahead and do that. First of all, if you don't know who I am, hi, my name is Robert. I'm a professional makeup artist here on YouTube and also in real life. And it's my goal to help you become a pro yourself or just someone who's really good at makeup. So if that sounds like something you are interested in, then please consider subscribing. Okay, let's do this. So first up, I want to start with the eye area in general, and I want to talk about eyeshadow, eyeshadow placement and holding brushes. What I'm going to go through today kind of comes from questions that I get asked quite a lot here online, but also part of my job, I don't do it so much now, but was teaching people how to do makeup and seeing how they apply their makeup and what they would do and little tiny improvements that we made to their makeup routine that I'm sharing with you all as well. So first of all, I want to talk about an eyeshadow brush, a blending brush, and how you hold it and how it's used. And this is actually the same with most makeup brushes, whether that's a face brush. Most brushes are fluffy. Flat brushes are used, of course, in a flat way. But I want to talk about blending brushes in general. So when you're using a blending brush, the movement that you want is very light, it's very soft. I see a lot of people holding a brush kind of just wherever, and then they do this movement that's kind of like a wipe on the lid, and they're more using the side of the brush. So they're kind of going in like this, and you're not really using that brush's full potential. The brush is shaped and domed and cut right on the top here, and that's where all the benefits of your brush is. So ideally, when you are blending eyeshadow, depending on the intenseness of the shadow, and I say this a lot in my videos, but I'm just going to get it back in the mind again. If you want a product to be really, really intense, and I mean heavy pigment, strong in application, and almost it's going to stick to where you apply it, you hold your brush further down because it has more density. If you want a lighter blend, something nice and feathery, you hold it right up the end here. You'll find that more expensive brushes are weighted, they feel heavier. With more affordable brushes, you don't really get that help of a weight, so you have to be really conscious of where you're holding the brush. So when you're blending eyeshadow, and we're talking about kind of blending through the socket here, ideally you want to hold your brush right at the tip, and then, oh, I'm getting so many spots, and then you kind of want to come in at this way, and then use the tip of that brush. You're using this tip and you're going backwards and forwards. So we're not pushing too hard and we're not wiping with the side. We're using that tip because where it's cut on top, the shape is all on top of that brush. We don't want to wipe with the edge of the brush. We want to go forward, nice and fluffy, nice and feathery, using the tip. So the next kind of mistake is going to tie in with this. I'm just going to grab an eyeshadow quickly, and I just want to show you all. Just to interrupt, I'm really excited because I bought ages ago the Sleeping Beauty palette from Besame Cosmetics, and my one came in a case, and it had like this velvet cushion, and it has like a display case and everything like that, and I thought I'm never going to use it, and then it sold out, and I thought I can't justify buying two, but recently they had it back in stock on sale, so I bought one to actually use. So I have done a whole video on this. It's quite old, so the audio is quite bad, Yeah, I just want to show you guys one mistake that people make. When we think of smoky eyes or blended out makeup, we think of this really like buffed out kind of shape and height, if that makes sense. So initially what people do is they think, okay, so it's buffed out up here, so let me apply the color there. So the mistake that's been made in this sense is that now you've applied the eyeshadow really, really high up. And because we want like this rounded shape, we can sometimes try and make that shape with a brush and with the eyeshadow. But now if I want to blend that out and soften that out, I don't really have anywhere to go. I either buff it up into the brow or I buff it backwards and forwards, but we still get that really harsh shape. Whenever you're doing eyeshadow that you want to come quite high up, you're doing smoky, always start in the socket, right in the socket. So grab your brush, like I said before, look up and down into that mirror and push into that socket line. And I'm going to go backwards and forwards like this, pushing into the socket round the edges of my actual eyeball. Backwards and forwards. And then I'm going to start to do circles. So I'm going to do outward circles, inward circles, outward circles, inward circles. And then we can start bringing up that colour a little bit more. Also remember the size of your brush. You can use a bigger blending brush to get a bigger blend and to bring the colour up a little bit more. And then remember the angle of your brush as well. If I angle my brush like this, I'm going to make a harsh line. If I angle my brush like this, we're going to get a nice feathery shape. If I angle my brush like this, I'm making a harsh line underneath. So ideally we want to be straight in like this. So see how this side still looks smoky and raised, where we've gradually applied colour and done these circle blends, like circling outwards, circling inwards, circling outwards, circling inwards. I'm always pushing into my socket. I'm just allowing the brush to go slightly higher when I circle inwards and outwards. So we still get that smoky kind of shape, but we haven't taken it all the way up here, because now if I want to blend this out and make it smokier, I either have to come across the whole way here, which is going to make a really horrible shape, or I'm going to have to just stop right here and it kind of just looks like a gathering of colour. Let's talk about eyebrow gel or eyebrow products in general, and you might be thinking, how can you go wrong with an eyebrow gel? And it's not really something you do wrong, but I have a technique that will really help keep the brows a little bit spikier and in the shape that you initially want. I find with some brow gels, I have a really great one now that I love, but I find with some brow gels that you can use them and they look great for like an hour, and then they kind of start to slowly like drip down. So when you are using your eyebrow gel, nice and cloudy. When you're using your eyebrow gel, I kind of think of it like, you know, you can get those powders for your hair that give you volume and stuff, and you sprinkle it on your hair and you rub it into your roots, because at the root is where it gives a volume. Think of it kind of like that. When you're applying your eyebrow gel, I can't even go over mine because they're kind of stuck down. Comb them through like you would normally, so up and outwards like this. Then go backwards on your hairs like this. So take it back through the brow gel, almost like we're trying to get to the root of the brow. Mess them up, completely mess them up. Let them sit for 3-5 minutes, do whatever else you need to do. And then I roll like this. So I roll upwards through the brow, almost pushing and rolling up through. And that way we're really spiking up and we're applying pressure to the brow and we're forcing them into a shape. So now we have a product at the root of the hair, of the brow, and we have product going through the brow. So we've kind of stuck it in place. That will help so much keeping your brows in that nice spiky shape that you wanted and that you originally tried to achieve. So I didn't realize this was a thing until much recently, but people use their foundation around the eyes. And I recently spoken in a reaction video, I think it was a TikTok reaction video, and there was a hack, and it was like, don't use your foundation around your eyes. And I was like, people use foundation around their eyes? Like, I thought this was just common knowledge. Foundation, here's the reason foundation really shouldn't go around this eye area here or also on the lid if you're going to wear concealer and eyeshadow. If you're just doing like a quick touch up or a quick kind of look, then fine, whatever. But the reason it shouldn't go under the eye is because if you're going to apply foundation and then concealer and then powder and all this other product, you are piling product on top of itself so much that it's guaranteeing creases. You are going to crease like crazy. So if you're somebody who does your concealer after your foundation, Some people do, I like to do it before because I like to correct the colour and then kind of blend my foundation around the eye area. And then maybe I'll do a little bit of concealer after that to highlight. But I know now it's kind of commonplace to do your foundation and then use a concealer to highlight. Whatever way you want to do it's absolutely fine. However, always think of the eye area as a mask, like a sleeping mask, you know? So don't cover that whole area with any product unless it's made for the eye area. Concealer, eye primer, you know, all this other stuff. Piling on too much product under the eye in general, we know the skin under the eye is very, very thin. So piling on too much product in general is gonna kind of drag. I think of it like a cat hanging onto a curtain. It's got that pressure and that grip, and the curtains are very delicate and very thin. So when it's pulling, you're creating those creases, you're creating that drag down texture. So only use what you need around the eye area, whether that's a full layer coverage of concealer, that's absolutely fine. What you don't want is full coverage foundation underneath that also. So I want to talk about eyeliner under the eye. And especially when you put the liner in the waterline, there's a certain technique and angle that you can kind of get it to kind of blend. One thing I see a lot in makeup is that people put pencil on their waterline and then they have shadow under their eye, but there's kind of this fleshy gap where the lashes are, if that makes sense. So I'm going to zoom in a tiny bit. You can tell I've been sick. My skin always reacts when I've been really sick. It has like this horrible, I don't know what it does. Okay. So let's start with our wrong side here then. When we do pencil in the waterline, we kind of like tug our eye down like this and then we just go in with a pencil. Sorry if you're like sensitive to eyes. And we do this and we kind of get this really weird like wet line. We get a little bit of build up here, and then when we put shadow underneath the eye, we get this like separation. So what we want to do with our pencil is do what we just did. Like so. But then what we're going to do is we're going to take the pencil and I'm going to angle it like this. So it's not at this angle, it's more at a side, and I'm just going to gently rub that along the lash line. So we get more of that fade. Whereas with this, we kind of just get like this solid line. Whereas with this, we get a nice color underneath. And I'm using black, so it looks quite harsh. But of course, if you're using a blue or green or whatever. Now, if you're using a flesh color or white, it's probably not the best technique to do. But that way we don't get this kind of wet like lash line. We get more of a smudged bottom waterline. Okay, I need to zoom out of my face here. Okay, so I hope that helped you guys. Sorry it was a little bit short and sweet today. I'm trying not to be in this lighting for too long. I feel like I'm only just getting better. So thank you so much for joining me. If you found this video useful or helpful in any way, please give it a big thumbs up. Consider subscribing for more content like this. Follow me on all my social medias. Everything I'm wearing on my face today will be linked in the description box below. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye. So if you have made it this far in the video, I kind of wanted to do like a little secret giveaway. I don't want to make a big deal out of it, but you guys know how much I'm a huge fan of YesStyle. They do Korean, Japanese, Thai, American, everything like that, beauty products and makeup that I'm a huge fan of. And they have given me 5 $50 coupons to use on their website. So all you have to do to enter this giveaway is make sure you're following myself and YesStyle on Instagram. Of course, make sure you are subscribed to my channel. Then over on Instagram, what I want you to do is leave like our secret code for this giveaway. I want you to leave 3 heart emojis right next to each other, and that's it. Just leave that under my most recent picture on Instagram, and then that way I know you are entering the giveaway, and I will contact the winners within a week of this video. Okay, thanks again. I will see you very soon. Good luck. Bye.